So in order to take out that pilot bearing, this is the new one. Can you see that? So what happens is you take and you set it up and you drive this through. The grease that's back there is trying to come out because now the punch will occupy the space, and that's what takes and pulls it out. But I have to take and turn this, make this fit this first. So all I'm doing is, like, it's just a drill, a little bit of noise, and I got a file. You see what, kind of like a little poor man's lathe here. I can see the metal shavings coming off of it. So I want it to be a pretty close tolerance because I don't want stuff squeaking by the inner race. So there's that. I might want to try to go a little bit farther and take some of this knurling off so that it actually bottoms out inside. So there's that. That's what I'm doing for that. You got to spend a half an hour to make the tool in order to get the job done. Let's see. I think I just lost the footage on the other one. The reason why I'm doing this is, like, it slowly started squealing. And it was, the clutch itself is still okay, the disc is okay, but this is a throw out bearing, and this thing just gave up the ghost. It won't turn at all. And so now, because this won't turn when you're pushing in on the clutch, it's just wearing down the feathers. This is the new one, but it's just wearing down the feathers in there, you know, to take and disengage the clutch. So eventually it would have been that it would have worn a hole either all the way through there, or I wouldn't be able to disengage it because now the tolerance is getting farther and farther. Anyways, just one of those things that had to be done. It was an ASIN, which is OEM to the 4Runner, and I don't know why it gave out. Pilot error, maybe, when I put the last one in. I don't think so. That was about 7 or 8 years ago. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. And this thing itself, I'll show you. It's just it's a Harbor Freight drift punch. Normally the punch would be in there, but it's not long enough. So I'm just going to take and file this thing back a little bit more, get that knurling done so that the tolerance will allow it to go inside this pilot bearing. And then hopefully that's going to make quick work of getting that out. There's hardly any clearance on the side of that. So the tighter it is, the better and the less work that I'll have to do, because it's kind of an awkward angle. I'll show you. I think I already lost that first piece of footage. I'm going to try to do something different here too. I'm going to try pausing. Keep all my bolts, flywheel bolts, all that stuff. And I think I'll title this one Toyota 4Runner. But anyways, I got a buddy with a, what do you call it, Ford F-150. I think it's like an 06 or something. But anyways, we looked it up, and he's got a bad wheel bearing up front. And this is from Detroit Axle. And I use a lot of their stuff. I'm pretty happy with them, but I don't know what the hell happened, but this is the way it arrived from UPS or FedEx or whatever. The hole was in the box, and there's a bunch of dirt and sand in there, so I don't want them. I'm just gonna take and send them back. And the other one, I don't drop it. The other one is exactly the same down there. That's a shame too. Anyways, so, yeah, the bearing is inside the brake rotor. There's the tone ring for your ABS and everything. So this one is going to get put on a little bit of a delay. And then because that throwout bearing went bad on my 4Runner, I've done most of this myself. Got it this far myself. And one little trick is, like, I watched this guy Timmy the Toolman with Toyota Time or whatever, and you know what? It's like, I'll be honest with you. He's anal to a fault, just like me. But that guy will tell you every torque spec, every wrench, you know. So instead of having like a big slew of wrenches and stuff out, you already know what you need, thanks to Tim. So shout out to him. But I watched him do a 3rd gen 4Runner transmission, and they wrestled and wrestled, and then they had to cut and edit the film, you know, to shorten it up or whatever. And my trick was, because I was doing it by myself, I have the cheap Harbor Freight tranny lift or whatever, and I just took and I put a strap around the back of it with a ratchet strap, and I put it all the way to the back over there to the trailer hitch, so it's pulling against the vehicle, not like I have an anchor in the ground or anything. I just used it against the vehicle, so it's not going to try to affect it being on the jacks or anything. And one ratchet click, and that baby just jumped. It just popped right away. So now I got to get up under here, finish up, because I'm all over the place. There is the pilot bearing from the old one, and it's already packed with grease. And so if I can get a tripod to set up and show me hammering that to get it out, I will. I might even try to spray a little PB Blaster or a WD-40 around the outside race, see if I can't get that out. So, and then my main seal is not leaking, but when you've gone through all this work, 240,000, I'm going to replace that too. I'm not going to do any of the other stuff. I'm just only going to do that bearing there and none of this stuff around here. It's not leaking. There's no point. I'm not going to go asking for trouble. You know what I mean? So that's where I am right now. And I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try pausing videos instead of trying to put them all together. That's what happened to the last CS310 video that I did for you guys. Some of you guys might be looking for it. But it was too big. So if you got 10 gig of space and your video is only 6, when you try to piece it together, you need another 6 gig of space. And it just won't let you do it. And so I lost that one. But I'll show you that 310 is running. Anyways, also here's another thing. At 240,000 miles, I switched over to full synthetic oil, figuring, you know, that's going to help. But if you look right now, that oil is so much thinner. That's motor oil right there, buddy. And you know where that's coming from? That's coming all the way up from the top. It's up in there. It's the valve covers. So now I'm going to have to go up there and do the valve covers. You can see it dripping on the exhaust. Here. Can you see? Let me see. Where is it? Where's the exhaust up there? See the drips on the exhaust? That's all coming out from underneath the valve covers. So I'm going to have to redo that. And that's just because I switched over to, what do you call it? Old man's oil. High mileage, full synthetic. All right, I'm just rambling, guys. So I'm gonna finish knurling that that drift. Then I'm gonna come in here and I'll see if I can't set up what do you call it? The camera, so you can watch me knock that sucker out. So I'll be back. That's not how you shut it off. How do I pause it? It's not paused. I lost it. Doggone it. All right. Okay, there it is. I think I'm gonna be okay. The bell housing is right. That's what's on the left side of your picture here. I'm gonna try to get this to go around it. Come on, baby. Damn it. I should make a video of how not to make a video. That looks like a pretty good shot, but I just got to get the camera to stay there. No. Hold on. I'm bending these wires to hold the camera underneath it here. Alright. I don't think I'm going to be able to get up under there, but let's try it. Let's see if this will go in there. You don't really want it to. See, I need to hammer right up over your head. We tried. This is not going to do it. Alright. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I'm just whacking it. Can you see the bearing coming out now? How much more of the outer race is sticking out? So I'm going to go back and I'm going to put a little bit more grease, because as the bearing comes out, it's being displaced, so you need to put more grease in the hole in order to force this out a little bit more. So I'm going to put a little bit more grease up in there, just using a grease gun. And then, yeah, we'll get that out. So here it is, 30 seconds later. You can see that it's really starting to come out now. Let's see, I'll show you. I'm going to take some of this. God dang it. Taking some of this old grease and putting it back in the hole. And I can't do the grease gun. I can't show you that because it takes 2 hands. So, but see how much it's sticking out now? Of course you do. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it pops out. It just stays right on there. And then that thing's just full of grease. I'll get that cleaned out, and then next thing up is I gotta take and pull that seal and put a new one in. So, alright guys, thanks for watching.